everyone, it's Shaylee. You might not recognize me because last video I had 22-inch blonde extensions that I took out, chopped off my hair, colored it back dark. I love it. I talk about it a little bit more in the beginning of the video. So I will put a time marker right here of the time that I actually start the story of our travels because it's a couple minutes in if you just want to skip ahead to that. My daughter and I went to Cancun without my husband, with my family, but without him. And the trip to get there was such a shit show. The whole time when just unbelievable things kept happening, I thought at the end of the day, I need to make a story time video about this and kind of do like a story time makeup Monday makeup chat. I always mix that up to tell you about it because it was just so wild. And I love watching story time videos. I never feel like anything that crazy happens to me besides at weddings. I could totally make story times about doing brides makeup and stuff, but it's also kind of scary. You don't want to like talk shit about people and put it on the internet. So anyway, I don't know if I'm a great storyteller because I think I ramble. So I hope it's not too long. I hope you're not bored. I hope you enjoy it. I just feel like everyone can relate. Like traveling out of the country can be stressful. If you've never seen a Monday makeup chat, I basically just do my makeup. It's like a get ready with me. So let's get going. Since I just got back from Mexico, I got this beautiful mug. I love these hand painted mugs. I know it's kind of weird to put a smoothie in it, but I just wanted to use it. So I just made this for breakfast. Obviously I cut my hair off and I freaking love it. This isn't breakage. These little pieces right here, these are all like regrowth from losing hair postpartum. But I like the idea of like a nice chop for summer and then that can meet up with it eventually. And just low key, low maintenance, time-wise, easy. So I'm gonna straighten my hair again real quick from yesterday. I genuinely wanna know how long it takes me, so I'm gonna time it. Ready? Go. Oh, I'm tangled up. Oh, let there be light. We're 40 seconds in and I'm actually starting. By the way, I wanted to wear these really cute PJs I just got to show you. I just love the little bottoms. They're so twisty and cute. But I spilled coffee on me right before I started the video, so sorry. Kind of having a wet t-shirt situation here. Oh, so sleek. Don't you love it? Okay, done. And we are at 6 minutes and 50 seconds, so like 7 minutes. Ladies, this is your sign. If your hair takes much longer than this, to chop it. Chop it for summer. Best decision. Like, I was kind of worried that I'd be regretful. Not one bit at all. Okay, so where should we even start? I'm using strobe cream from MAC. This is the gold light one. I always just list all the products down below, but I probably won't be paying attention to them near as much today because I have a story to tell you. I was so, like, I'm triggered. Me and Danny on our date last night, I was telling him all of these different things from the vacation and he could tell I was getting anxious. Like, calm down, it's over. It's in the past. Do you have PTSD? And I told him, I'm not even kidding you, I do. Okay, so just to set the, you know, premise, is that the right way to say that? Just to tell you about what the trip was. So my aunt was getting married in Cancun. Well, Isles Mujeres is how I think you say it. You fly into the Cancun airport. Sorry, my mirror's over there. And she was supposed to get married 2020 and obviously COVID happened. So she had to reschedule. I think she ended up moving it out from spring to fall, had to reschedule again to the next year, 2021. And she ended up getting pregnant and having a baby. So she just postponed it for the time being. So this was a long time coming and finally it was happening, 2023. Super exciting. Like, we all want to be there for her. Absolutely. She asked me to do her makeup. My sister Emily was in the wedding. My sister Tori and Natalie were in the wedding. Everyone wanted to go and be there. My husband has to submit all his vacation requests for the next year. What are my dogs barking at? So he has to submit his requests and he didn't for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if we didn't find out the dates. I don't know if I forgot. Point is, he couldn't go, which obviously just sucks for the fact that he was gonna miss out. But then I'm like, okay, well, we have a 1.5-year-old. Do I bring her? Do I leave her? I've never left her that long. And my husband had to work, so who's gonna watch her kind of thing. So I think I said it on my last Monday makeup chat. Like, what do you think? Should I bring her? What would you do? And a couple people responded and said, don't bring her. Just go have fun. Did I listen? No. I think I was just stressed out thinking, because my mom was not in town. I guess I could have asked my mother-in-law to watch her, but I'm really glad I didn't because she was off on FMLA to be with my husband's grandmother because she wasn't doing well and she ended up passing away while we were, like, right before we left. So I made the right call. Like, there was no one to leave my daughter with, you know, during the day while my husband was gonna be working. And I just kept thinking too, like my sisters are going. One of my sisters, Tori, is literally my nanny. So my daughter goes to daycare, but my sister, Tori, still watches her a lot for me because she can only go to daycare for 4 hours. And I obviously have to work longer than 4 hours sometimes. My sister Emily's going and she has a 10-month-old baby. So like, do I want Golden to see her cousin? Yes. Why should I have my daughter miss out just because like her dad can't go? Like, I can do this. I'm gonna have so much support and family, which I did, but it was still hard, right? That's another story. But I want to tell you like the travel, because it was wild. Like I will never do that again. Decided to bring Golden, okay? So she needed a passport. And was I ahead of the game? No, because I didn't even know if I was gonna be bringing her. Time sneaks up on you. So it's April 1st, I think. We're leaving May 28th. And so we have about 2 months. We went, did her application. I specifically remember throwing away, because I started filling out the application. I was like, oh, I should do uppercase. Like, this is a big document. Like, I don't want anything messed up. So I threw it away and restarted and made it like super neat and clean with all capital letters, everything, the whole application. It's like 2 or 3 pages. And let me rewind a minute. So when we booked our airfare, my aunt had a lady, Brittany, who was organizing the booking of the hotels, your flights for you, your transport. My camera did the thing again where it overheats. I swear to God, someday I'll get a new phone. I'll be able to record on my phone and I will never have to say that sentence ever again to you. Anyways, did my brows in the meantime. Products will be listed down below. So my sister that I'm like super close with, we grew up together, and then I got 2 half sisters. So it's Emily, Natalie, and Tori are the younger ones. They're like 16 and 20. Emily is like 31. I'm 33. But anyway, she has the 10-month-old and she lives in LA. So she was gonna be flying with her husband. And then we all live up north, the rest of my family. So I can either like fly down, see her, and then go to Cancun with her, or fly with my dad, my sisters, my dad's girlfriend, all that, because I don't want to be actually like physically traveling alone with my daughter. Those were my options. So I told Brittany, who was taking care of my dad's airfare, can you please book me with my dad on the same flight? And she was like, absolutely. Yeah, I need pictures of both of your passports. So I sent her mine, and then I explained to her that Golden, my daughter, doesn't have a passport yet. We have the appointment to apply for one. We have to expedite it, all this yada yada. And she's like, okay, well, airfare has to 100% match your passport. They will not let her on the plane if it doesn't. So really make sure whatever you tell me to put on the airfare to book your flight is what you're putting on that application. Obviously, like I'm gonna put Golden Rose Glazner, her whole name. No problem, Brittany. I got it. Book it under Golden Rose Glazner. Airfare's booked. We go April 1st. Fill out Golden's application, like I said. Pay $200 something to expedite it. And it ends up coming, like that was the stress at first. Like, oh my gosh, is it gonna come? My poor aunt, her maid of honor, Whitney, didn't even end up getting to come. I don't know if you've seen it on the news, but there's like a backlog of passports. So I was stressing, thinking I'm gonna have to leave Golden and figure it out because she's not even gonna get her passport. It ended up coming a couple days before we left, like Wednesday, the week before we left, something like that. So cute, her little ponytail picture. We looked at it real quick. My husband, I was in the bath right here. He walked in, showed me, oh, thank God it's here, great. Moved on with life. Well, my sister, who lives in LA, was talking about how like they don't offer appointments or something like that. You have to do walk-ins. Like they couldn't speak to someone on the phone. It was this big issue to get Rhea, my niece, who's 10 months old's passport. They had to go like stay the night in San Diego the Friday. We left Sunday, they left Monday, but Friday night before we all like started leaving, they had to go an hour, 2 hours south to go try to get a passport for their daughter. So the passports were an issue. I think in the last Monday makeup chat, or maybe it was in my Sephora haul, I was talking about how Cherry Blossom by Huda Beauty powder has been out of stock and I've always wanted to try it. I swear I looked on Sephora that night and it came back in stock. So I had got Cupcake, which is like this, it's kind of a pink tone, you know, lighter skin tone. This one's much more pink. And so I think I've only used it once so far, but I wanted to show you. I really like how they smell. If you don't like heavy fragrances, I mean, it's not like super heavy, but it definitely has a fragrance to it. But I love pink for fair to light skin. It's just so brightening under here. I just love it so much. And this powder is flawless. I love this. Okay, so anyway, they end up getting Rhea's and they send a picture because they got it that same day. They send a picture to show like how cute it is. And my sister goes, oh, let me see the picture of Golden. So I text a picture of her passport to my sister. Friday night, she texts me and is like, hey, do you know Golden's name's spelled wrong? What? They had spelled, I'll put a picture, they had, instead of an uppercase L, her name is Goldyn. The government had put Goidyn. So it was Goidyn. Who the hell is Goidyn Rose? And I'm thinking like, did I F up on the application? Like I specifically remember restarting and doing capitals. Did I do it just a I? Did I like not do the little L? Like what could have happened? But then I kept thinking, I know how to spell my daughter's name. I specifically restarted it. I'm like 99% sure I didn't mess that up. But furthermore, let's just say I did. They made us send her physical birth certificate with the application, not a copy. I had to mail off her actual birth certificate with that application, which says her name correctly. So those were supposed to match. So it's like, even if the person typing it all in was like, oh, these don't match, don't you think you would either like contact the person or put what's on the birth certificate? I don't know what happened. That's still an issue I have to now deal with now that we're back, because I'm fixing that. Obviously we paid all this money. I want it correct because we're going on another trip next. I don't think it's international. It might be though. It's a cruise. So we get off at different ports. Anyways, next spring, this might be an issue again. So anyways, Emily sends me that and I'm like, what the f, basically. So I contact Brittany, the travel agent. Hey Brittany, you will never believe this. I know you specifically told me to fill out on the application what I told you for the ticket, which I did do. The government typed it wrong. What can I do now? Like, how can I fix this? I know this is a problem. Our airline was United. You need to contact United because she tried to do it for me in that minute and they wouldn't let her because of like privacy reasons or something, because the reservation was booked online. It's like, okay, so you're gonna let her book it, but you won't let her edit it. Like many things are annoying about all of this, but it is what it is. She's like, here's the number. This was like 9 o'clock at night by this point. By the time I got home from work, fed G dinner, got her to bed, was texting Brittany. So she's like, call them in the morning and see if they'll change it. To be honest, I don't know that they will. They won't typically change international flight tickets. Like at the worst, you're gonna have to cancel your flight and they'll hopefully credit you the money and you could repurchase another flight. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll just do that and not have to call anyone. Let's go see if there's any seats available. I'll cancel, rebook. I'll spell Goidyn on the plane ticket that I book so they'll match. There's no flights. No flights on my dad's flight, or I'm sorry, no seats on my dad's flight anymore. And I really don't want to travel alone. I really don't. You have to go through customs. Plus, how am I going to carry all my shit? It wasn't even necessarily about like, you know, I'm scared to go alone. It's like I have suitcases, a stroller, her diaper bag. How am I going to carry all of that through the airport alone? Like logistically, it would be hard. I talked to my dad and we're going back and forth and he's like, honestly, Shaylee, it looks like a L, like a lowercase L. I doubt they're gonna like stare at it. Like they're checking to make sure it's the right person. I don't want to give you bad advice, but do you think it's worse if we get, like if you call and they say no, and then what are you gonna do? Or if we get there and you pretend like you didn't know and you're standing there and it's one letter, they can tell, bring her birth certificate. What do you think? And I was leaning more toward my dad because I'm like, some chick on the phone that I'm talking to probably won't care as much as a real person in real life who sees me holding my baby trying to travel with all my family. Maybe they'll just let me in. But then I thought, what if they don't? I'm gonna be in San Francisco, 3.5 hours away from home without my own car. My family's gonna be now getting on the flight. What am I gonna do? Because then again, logistically, I have all my shit. I have Golden, I don't have a car. My husband's at work 3.5 hours away. Like it just was no good option of how to handle this. So I end up thinking, you know what? Honesty is always the best policy. I'm gonna call, I'm gonna plead that they change it, and if they don't, I will cancel it and fly by myself and figure it out. Maybe I can like have one of my sisters check my bags ahead of time when they go. We'll figure it out. So I call Saturday, I'm leaving Sunday morning at 3 in the morning, 3:45. I had to be at my dad's house. So Saturday, my husband's at work. I am packing for me and G, because of course I left that till the last minute, doing laundry, trying to get stuff done. And I also have to go do my sister Tori's lashes at my work before we leave because she had asked me. So I knew I had to go do that later that day. My dad's girlfriend was gonna watch G for us. So it's like early in the morning, like 9. I'm calling United. I'm on the waiting thing. Finally, an angel answers the phone. I wish I had this lady's name. She was so, at the end of it, so nice. The whole time she was so nice. I mean, she helped me in the end of it. So this is going somewhere good, okay? So I explained to her what has happened. And oh, I see what happened. So they just put here, can I put you on hold? Let me figure this out. It was a lot of like her saying a few things and then getting me on hold again. Saying a few things, getting me on hold again. What is happening? Like, you would think this isn't that hard. You go on the computer, you edit the name. Like, I don't get why it's so hard. You get more with honey than vinegar, right? So I'm trying to just be so patient and kind because clearly I need this lady's help. It's not her fault, it's effed up. Like, I'm of course not gonna be mean to her, but I'm also like, why is this taking so long? How long was this phone call? 1 hour and 1 minute. Here's the number for United customer service if you need it. An hour to change a name on a ticket. That's what I'm dealing with. And she basically gets back on and tells me, ma'am, I'm so sorry. Sorry, my tripod's looking crooked. There we go. I'm so sorry. We're not technically supposed to do this. So what I need you to do is go to your local police department and get a statement written by an officer saying that bring the birth certificate. Get a statement saying that the passport is wrong. Bring this to San Francisco when you come tomorrow. Show them all these things and hopefully they let you get on the plane. So I could pack up my daughter, go to the police station, ask them to do this random ass thing, and I could still possibly not be allowed on the flight? This just doesn't seem right. Like, it's just like changing a letter. It's so weird. So I was saying that to her so I can still possibly not get on the flight. And she's like, well, if they say no, I would go to a customer service desk and they'll change it for you. They'll change it for you. I also, this is a trick I did. I don't know if it made a difference, but it said, do you want to be selected for a survey after your phone call? And I said, yes. So I don't know if she knew she was being recorded. And so she was trying to tell me like what she's supposed to say, but she was really saying, it's gonna be fine, girl. They'll let you on the plane. And she was trying to not come right out and say that. I don't know. This is all my assumptions. If that's what I have to do, thank you for that option. That's totally fine. I will do it. But is there any way you can just change the name so it matches? We don't have an issue and I don't have to take my daughter to the police station right now? Like, can we just do that? How about that? Hold on, ma'am. Yes, you know what? Let me put you on hold again. Okay, so she comes back and she, after a while, was like, okay, I was able to change it, but now I'm trying to get her a seat. Like, I changed her name on the ticket, but I'm trying to assign you guys seats because I basically had to like take away your seats and now I'm trying to get them back. So long story short, she comes back on, says it's all fixed, everything's all good, I should get a new confirmation email. And I say, thank you, you're an angel, thank you so much. We hang up, I'm like, yes, it's all good. Just a little detail for you too. Golden is 1.5 and that is like a lap child age. Like, you do not have to purchase a ticket for your daughter or son until they're 2, I believe is what I read. I just told Brittany like, oh, it's me and my daughter, book it. And she booked us 2 actual like seats. And then once I noticed that, because of the cost, obviously, I told my husband and he's like, you know what? Again, logistically, like if you're holding her and your stuff's shoved under the thing, who are you gonna hand her to like get in her diaper bag or whatever you need to do? If you guys aren't seated next to each other on the flight, which I thought we all were, all my family, I thought, besides my dad, him and his girlfriend got first class. But besides that, I thought I'd be next to all my sisters. It's not gonna work out, you'll see in a minute, but I'm like, I can at least hand them to them. And he's like, just keep the seat. Like, I feel bad you aren't having me help you. Just keep the seat. You have somewhere to set her. She has more room to move around. It's like a 6-hour flight. So we had 2 seats. So I'm up till like 1:30 in the morning packing, doing all my stuff, watering all my plants. I'm always like this with trips. It's something I'd like to change, but that's just how I am. So I go to bed at like 1:30. I'm supposed to be, my dad says, get here at 3:45 in the morning. Leave your house at 3:30, Shaylee. We're rolling out of here at 4. So I get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, throw my outfit on, brush my teeth, all that stuff. There was last minute stuff I had to grab, like my daughter's sound machine and her monitor. And this was at 3. I went to bed at 1:30. You know what I mean? Got an hour and a half of sleep. I grabbed my daughter out of her crib, put her in the car, and go over to my dad's house. I pull up to my dad's house, and granted, to be fair, the porch lights are out, like all the outside lights are out right now because I was there the other day and I was like, why is it so dark? So I think he needs to like change them or whatever. But I pull up and it looks like no one's even alive in there. Like, it looks dark as can be. And I'm like, aren't we leaving in 16 minutes with 2 cars, 7 people and a baby? Like, why the hell does it look like no one's even awake? So I walk inside, I notice my sisters are awake in there moving around. I see my dad's girlfriend like changing still. I see my dad, or I hear my dad. So I'm like, okay, people are awake. I expected to like get there and like they'd be loading up the truck. So I'm already feeling a little bit like, oh, are we gonna be late? Like, no one's even outside with their stuff yet. So I hand off Golden and I load up all of our stuff. I put her car seat in my dad's truck. I'm doing all that. We end up leaving to go get gas down the street by probably like 4:10. By the time we gas up, everyone had to get out and go get snacks. I stayed in the car with my baby. I'm just like, it's 4 in the morning. Like, what are you eating right now? The flight was at 8:45, I think. And so I was feeling, it was at 8:50, something like that. Okay, yeah, May 28th, 8:45 a.m. It was supposed to be 5 hours and 25 minutes and land at 4:10 in Cancun. I'm feeling stressed because we're like 3 hours from San Francisco. I thought you were supposed to give 3 hours for international, at least 2. We gotta like get parked, get in there, check our stuff, go through TSA. So also I have had 1.5 hours of sleep and I'm about to do this huge travel day with my 1.5-year-old. My sisters and their boyfriends take my sister Tori's car. I'm in the car with my dad and his girlfriend and my daughter. My dad and his girlfriend were fully awake talking, probably because they didn't stay up till 1:30 in the morning, so it was like normal. Like they were just so excited for the trip. No bad on them. But I was like, oh, okay, I have to switch my mind because I had anticipated quiet. Like I literally thought I was gonna like sleep in the car, but I guess even though it's like 4:30 in the morning, we're ready to roll. And so my daughter's kind of awake too for most of this noise. She's not normally awake at this time. So we're getting close to the airport. My dad is like, okay, Tori, so she's the 20-year-old, her and her boyfriend Xavier, we're gonna pull up to the terminal, we're all gonna hop out, you're gonna unload, like we're talking on the phone to her, you're gonna unload all the bags, and then you and X go park our cars so that we can start getting our stuff checked. Hand us your bags, hand us your passports. I don't know if he communicated that to them, but that's what he had in his mind. And I'm already thinking like for my 20-year-old sister and her boyfriend, even for someone like me who hasn't been there that many times, airports are kind of confusing. Like you need to like get out a map and look at where you're going if you've never done it before, you know? It's just all these things that were happening. I had like foreshadowing. Like I have a really strong intuition, I always like to think. I'm also like going with the flow. Like it's my dad telling my sister, she seems fine with it. Okay, so they're going to park in the car as the rest of us are out. They forgot to leave their suitcases and passports with us. And it's 7:20 and the flight's leaving at 8:45. So my dad's already like, what the heck, did I not tell them? Like, why didn't they leave their stuff? Tori, you better hurry and get back here. Like, now you have to carry your suitcases all back. Like, hurry up. My dad has a huge truck, by the way. My sister's boyfriend has to drive it. At the moment, I didn't think much of it, but after we got back, I went out to get the cars with them so they weren't alone this time. San Francisco has this like tight little, it's almost like a, you know, like a spiral staircase. That's how the parking structure is. We literally had to like tuck in my dad's mirrors, and it's such a long bed that he was having to go so slow to like not scratch against it. Like it was stressful for him to drive. Like it's stressful when you drive someone else's car, especially if it's like way bigger than yours. So he's trying to hustle and still not F up the car. So anyways, that's another detail. I'm trying to scan into that kiosk thing. I think at this point someone's holding Golden. I don't know. But I'm trying to scan in and it's saying, we don't have your confirmation. We don't have your reservation. See an assistant. And my gut just gets sick because I'm like, something's wrong from that name change. I call the employee over that's standing there to help people. And I was like, hi, this is what it's showing me. No, ma'am, you just need to scan in your passport. I was like, yes, I already did that. It's now giving me this notification that I like don't have a reservation. And she like grabs my passport and scans it and sees it for herself and is like, oh, okay, you need to go get in this line. So that lady was kind of a bitch because it's like, I get it, she deals with probably idiot people, but I was doing it right and something wasn't right. She wasn't even taking the time to like wait to see what I had to say. She was just like, scan your passport. It's like, yeah, I already did that. That's why I'm asking for your help now, but whatever. So I'm trying to remain patient and I'm like, okay, Tori and Xavier are gone. Like my thing isn't working. We gotta get on this plane. So I go get in the line and it moves pretty fast. So United Angel number 2. The lady in front was mean, but the lady at the desk, a lot younger, she was like younger than me, was so helpful. So I show her what's happening. And again, though, I was probably standing there for 30 minutes. She like scans everything in and she's like, okay, so it looks like you have like you both have tickets, but like, wait, isn't she a baby? Like, why do you have 2 tickets? Like everyone kept getting hung up on that. And I'm like, well, my husband paid for a second ticket, so we'd have room, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, well, I'm seeing that you have a seat on the plane. She has a, like, she's paid, she has a ticket, but she's not ticketed. I don't know what that means. And the only thing I can think of is like how that lady said, I'm trying to get you guys seats. I think that's what the issue was. And she was describing the reason it was taking so long. The lady at the counter that I'm standing with is explaining like she's in 2 different programs. So like what she does and checks bags and checks you in is a separate thing than like the people who deal with the ticketing and the seating. So she's like on her computer, like talking to them, I guess. So she's trying to do it for me and time's ticking away. My bags are right here. For international flights, you are supposed to check your bags no later than 1 hour. Like they don't accept your bags later than 1 hour. Meanwhile, my dad, his girlfriend, my other sister and her boyfriend are standing here waiting for Tori and Xavier to check, oh shit, did you see that? To check their bags because I don't know why they didn't just check their bags. Like, I don't know what was happening because I was dealing with my own thing, but they were sitting there with all their bags still. They didn't hand them off yet. I think that's what it was. Like they were checked in and they had their little stickers on them, but they hadn't passed them over to the airline yet. As this is happening, my dad's like, Tori's lost. She doesn't know where she is. And I can hear him like on the phone with her, like trying to help her, but my dad doesn't have the best patience for that. And so I'm like, oh God, like I kind of knew that was gonna happen. And it was confusing because it's an international flight. Like we're going to a different country, but we were flying out of the domestic terminal. And so they had gone to the international terminal, which is logical. Like that makes sense. So it wasn't like they were stupid. Clearly there was a miscommunication. And I hope my sister wouldn't be embarrassed me saying this. That's a stressful, anxious-filled situation. So she was a little bit crying because she was stressed out because she was like thinking she's gonna make us miss the flight. And she's like frustrated that she can't find us. She got up early. I don't think she even went to bed. I think because I did her lashes and she went home and packed, I don't think she even went to sleep. So she's like stressed the F out too. So she finally calls me and she's crying and I'm trying to calm her down and I'm also at the counter with this lady who has golden. Okay, Natalie has golden. Tori, take a deep breath. I would feel the exact same way. Your feelings are valid, but I don't know, because she kept asking me, where do I go? And I said, Tori, I don't know this airport at all. I'd have to pull up a map. We are at Terminal 3, domestic. Like you have to come find that. You just have to ask an employee and then walk as far as they tell you and you can recognize what they're saying and then ask another employee. Like that's all you can do is just keep asking people till you get to us. I can't give you directions because I don't know. And by this point, I want to say it was like 7:45. So it's like getting to be an hour before our flight. Cutoff time for luggage, okay? Finally, the girl by this point gives me my tickets for Golden and it was past the time because she said, I can't take your second, she had already checked one of my bags during all this time and she's like, I can't take your second bag because it's past an hour. And I was like, how do I get this bag there? I've been standing here for 30 minutes. Like I was here. I told you I needed to check these 2 bags. Again, trying to be so sweet to her because she's helpful. And she finally goes, I'm gonna do this. I'm pretending like I'm at the gate checking your bag, which I think means they were gonna put it at the top of the plane. I don't know what was happening. She said, I'm not gonna charge you. She takes it for free. She only charged me for 1 bag. Again, angel. She checks my stuff. We start walking away. At this same point, that lady who took my stuff had told my family, I don't know what you're gonna do. I can't take all this luggage. Past an hour, and my dad's like, well, what do we do? Talk to like special guest services or whatever. Took a break, got dressed. Okay, so at this point, we can't check the luggage. My dad even says out loud, I'm already thinking it, we're not making this flight. We have not gone through security. They can't take our luggage. We can't find my sister. She's back in the stroller, and I'm also having to go like this so she's not screaming. What are we gonna do? Oh, meanwhile, my luggage is gone. The chick took my luggage because she checked it, even though I wasn't supposed to. But then she couldn't do it for like everyone, you know? So we're walking over to special services, whatever it's called. I'm on the phone with my sister who still can't find us. A different lady now behind a different counter hears me talking to Tori, trying to figure it out. And I'm to the point where I'm like, I'll go look for you. I'm coming. So I start walking away with the stroller and this lady hears this all going down and she grabs my phone and like, not meanly, like in a nice way, like here, let me talk to her, and tries helping my sister find where we are and ends up going, hang on, let me call you from my phone. I'm gonna come get you. So sweet, right? Like most of the United staff was so nice. This isn't sponsored by United or anything, but I'm just telling you. I love when you get good customer service. Like, I love it. I guess the terminals are like all connected, but I think just in the rush of everything, my sister got stressed out and it was a lot of people, it was busy. And so anyway, now we have the whole family. The lady brought her over, thank goodness. The boyfriend's here. We've missed the flight, but at least we're all together. My luggage is now flying to Cancun. Pray it's still there when we get there. So my dad's talking to the guy trying to get us rebooked for flights. I overhear him say something about, oh, but all that's available on that is first class. And they say 11. And I'm thinking, hell yeah. We're getting hooked up with first class in like 2 hours. This is a happy accident. Like, this is amazing. It was 11 p.m. It is 8 a.m. Do I want to sit in the San Francisco airport to wait for first class for 15 hours? Is that right? So 8 to 8 would be 12. So yeah, Dad, no. Even if it was just me, that would suck. But I have a 1.5-year-old with me. I keep saying, but just it layers it on harder because you have a baby. Like it's just a whole nother thing. So my dad ends up telling the guy, like, none of us even want to do that. Like, that's too late. Is there anything else? Even if we have to break up and get on 2 different flights, like some of us and some of us, he's looking, he's trying to figure it out. My camera died again, so I had to charge it. Where did I leave off? So we're getting new flights. It was originally a non-stop flight that we had missed. Now we ended up getting rebooked, but it was not non-stop. And so now it was at 1:09. So thank God, not 11 p.m. But now at this point, it's probably 9:30 by the time we were done with all this. You know, we had like a couple hours to kill. Way better than, what did I say, 15 hours before that, something? So I'm still happy. And I just want to kind of back up. This is no one specific's fault. I just feel like it might, if some of my family is watching this, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm making everyone late because Golden's name thing. Tori's over there thinking she's making us all late because she's lost. My dad's probably thinking, oh my gosh, I should have like told the kids we need to leave earlier. Travel is always a little bit rough if you have a lot of people with you. It's no one's fault. Like, everyone's intention was to go have a good time. No one's fault. I just want to say that. You know what else happened? So we get on, we have the new flight booked, we get through TSA, and then my sister Natalie's boyfriend Martin had to go check his bag. His carry-on had a knife in it. I remember he thought, oh my God, like now I'm making us late. It's like, we're through TSA, Martin, you're fine. Poor guy. He felt so bad, but he, I guess, hadn't used his bag in forever. He didn't even know it was in there. Like, it was in this side pocket. We all were feeling like we were holding each other up and all this, and it's just what happens. It was literally like Home Alone. Like, you know, the family, I always compare our big families to that, because that's what it feels like when you get everybody together, like with my husband's family or like with all my family and all the sisters. It's just a lot going on. Everyone has good intentions. I just want to go back and say that. Like, everyone was so helpful to each other, to me. So now it's like a 1 o'clock flight and it goes to Houston. It goes at 6:55. When was our next flight after that? 7:51. So it was supposed to be like an hour gap. We literally had, like, this is foreshadowing here. We literally had, I think, 20 minutes. We go, we have a little bit of time to kill now. So we go, and I'm thinking, I just want a mimosa. That was all of our idea, right? We're gonna get through security, sit and have a mimosa, board our flight and go. So we're finally to that point where we can do so. And we walk into the restaurant and sit down, and my daughter's had it by this point. Like, she's just been in the car for like 3.5 hours. Then she was buckled in her car seat or her stroller for a couple hours dealing with all this. She's not having it. She's hitting me. She's like grabbing at the drinks on the table. She's not good in restaurants. I'm vlogging today too, and I was talking about this in my vlog. It's just like hard at her age right now, traveling, going to eat, doing anything, because she wants to get down and go. So by the way, my dad's girlfriend is so sweet, so helpful this trip, so amazing. Her name is Kelly, but I don't know her super well, so it's not like my mom being like, please take Golden. Like, I would say that. I'd be like, please take her, I need a break. Kelly's like newer. Like, I haven't been around her a ton. Like, her and my dad have been talking a long time, but like, we just all met her. I'm not gonna ask, but she, like a little angel, all these angels around me, offered like, here, let me take her over to Sunglass Hut. Like, you sit and eat. I got a mimosa, got some chilaquiles, and ate some of that. Tried to get Golden to eat. She wasn't having it. Everyone ate, we recouped, so we're all feeling better. We're like killing time by the gate. I'm not even thinking that I'm not seated next to my daughter, because why would I have that thought? We paid for the tickets together, we booked together, we got rebooked together. Again, yes, I know she's 1.5, but we bought a ticket for her. We explained this all to the guy who was rebooking us. Aren't these so pretty? These are the little Makeup by Mario plumping lip color, soft nude. I really like this nude one. It's the only one I have actually, but I really like the color. I looked at the tickets and it was like 27E and 27F or something like that. Let me think if I'm saying it right. Like, I remember when I looked at them, I thought, oh, they're next to each other. Like, perfect, why wouldn't they be? We get on the flight and like whatever I just said, it was like the rows, like maybe basically she was one seat in front of me. She wasn't next to me. I can't have my 1.5-year-old sit in the seat ahead of me. What the hell? And so I realized this all like as we're sitting down, and I figure anyone will switch me. Any normal human being will walk right up and be like, oh yeah, no problem, you're traveling with your child, but everyone keeps thinking she's supposed to be sitting on my lap. This guy walks over and he's like, hey, you're in my seat. And I said, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry. I'm realizing I explained it to him and I was like, would you mind just sitting right there because I'm trying to like be with my daughter, I can't leave her. And by this time, the flight attendant sees what's happening. You guys, I swear to God, it was like anything that could go wrong was going wrong. Like, why can't we just be rebooked next to each other? Like, her name's already wrong, her passport's wrong, poor Martin had to check his bag, we missed the flight, Tori got lost, Xavier's trying to drive my dad's truck, none of our shit made it on the plane. Oh, by the way, they ended up holding my luggage, so I didn't know this, but my luggage ends up coming and making it at the same time. They held it when they rebooked us all at that special desk. So thank God, because I'm thinking not only all of our clothes, all my thousands of dollars of makeup, because I'm bringing a shit ton of makeup to do my aunt's wedding makeup, because I don't know what color she's gonna be by that time. So I'm bringing in a bunch of foundations to mix, because is she gonna be tan? Does she want these kind of lashes or these kind of lashes? We definitely should have done a trial, but she lives 2 hours away from me. She has 2 kids, we're busy. Like before, when I did my sister-in-law Shanar's makeup for my brother's wedding in Jamaica, I brought it on the plane with me because I didn't have a baby yet, and that was my carry-on. I like packed all the liquids right. Usually that's what I would do, but I knew I couldn't carry that heavy ass bag with Golden, so I checked it. All this to say it came. Back to the guy and the flight attendant are like so confused, staring at me. He was acting like he wasn't gonna move. And by this point, I'm so tired and exhausted and ready to just get to Mexico. I was like, mama bear, I'm sitting here. Like, I'm sorry, you're a grown single man. You can sit at any, I didn't say this, but I'm thinking this, like, why is this even an issue, dude? Like, can't you just sit anywhere? So the flight attendant goes, sir, can you please just sit right here? Yeah, let's let her, and she like handled it for me, thank God. By the way, so my kind of brother-in-law, they've been together forever. My sister's boyfriend is right in front of me in the row, but my other sister's back there. My dad's in first class. I don't even see where my other sisters are. So I'm not seated next to my family like I thought I was gonna be. Like I'm not getting help really on the plane. Like I'm just with her. And so what was that? From 1 to 6:55, but there's like a 2-hour time difference on that flight. So how long it was, like 3.5 hours, 4 hours, something like that. So it was a long time. Someone had told me like, give her melatonin. So I bought baby melatonin from like Zara Bees or whatever. By this point, it's like her nap time. So it makes sense. So I gave her, it says don't give to kids under 3. So I bit it in half. I accidentally swallowed that half and I figured whatever, it's not even a milligram probably, I'm fine. I'm already tired anyway. She was pretty good, but also screaming. I got this Etch-a-Sketch thing for her. I think it's downstairs. And the pen was attached and she was pissed about that. Like she wanted to take the pen off and be coloring with the pen. But I'm like, girlfriend, it's attached. That's so we don't lose it. The flight was fine, just how you'd expect, probably with a toddler. I want to say she didn't sleep much on that flight. I think she fell asleep for maybe like 40 minutes and me and her fell asleep together. Like she was on me, even though we had this extra seat, she like cuddled up on me. We had her blanket, we had her Georgie, her monkey, and she fell asleep and I fell asleep. And I remember every time I'd like be almost dropping her because I'd be like falling asleep and wake myself up and falling asleep. So anyways, we get off the plane, thank God. Just so you know, if you're traveling with a child, don't bring your normal stroller. Yeah, it's nice because it's large and comfortable for the kid. Getting her unbuckled while you're in the like little terminal thing, whatever it's called, and you're trying to like fold down the stroller, you gotta like put it back up, fold it down. Thank God for my sister's boyfriends being so helpful with all of that. I want one of those ones that just pops open and it's like fabric. My dad's girlfriend Kelly was like, you need one of those just cheap. They're like the size of an umbrella. Get yourself one of those. The only highlight was we could like set all of our stuff in the stroller when Golden wasn't in the stroller. So anyways, we get to the next airport. I'm not having this happen again. I'm not having to ask a stranger to switch me seats. We paid like $700 or something for each way. Like, I don't even remember. I might be wrong. No, like I'm gonna go talk to them and see if they can reassign us seats next to each other right now. But meanwhile, like I said, we only have like 20 minutes. So I walk up to the guy. He, again, another United angel. He was so nice. He's like, oh yeah, you can't be away from her if you paid for that. Like, let me see what I can do. He ends up reassigning us seats next to each other. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is the last leg. It's like an hour and 20-minute flight. We're supposed to get to Cancun by like 1 p.m. or 1 a.m., which is now, I think it's 2 hours ahead. So keep in mind, I got up at 3 a.m., didn't get to bed at 1:30. It's just a long day. It was like 18 hours, I think. So anyways, I get on the plane and I'm like, perfect. We're next to each other. Me and Golden are buckled. She's chilling. This couple walks up to me wearing Mr. and Mrs. shirts. Oh, how cute, like newlyweds. Like this is their honeymoon. I went to Cancun for my honeymoon. That's so cool. The husband goes, oh, I'm 27G or whatever. Like, I think you're in my seat. I'm like, I can't make this shit up. I cannot make it up. And I'm thinking, the guy just gave me this seat. And so he calls like the flight attendant over to figure out what's going on. And as he's waiting for her and stuff, I'm like, so when did you guys get married? They're like, tonight. And so I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, I can either hold my baby, like let's say I'm in his seat and there's no other, because they're all packed flights. Let's just say I'm in his seat. I can hold my baby and just forego the fact that I paid for another seat and just eat it. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Like, I'm not gonna die. It was more just the point that we paid for it. So that was bothering me. And then I'm like, or I can be the dick that like doesn't let the newlyweds sit next to each other on their wedding night. Like, I don't wanna do that. That's horrible. Like, they were so cute. They were really young. The lady comes over and thank goodness, she's like, oh, you guys have just been reassigned. You're right here. And they were in like 2 rows ahead sitting next to each other. So that made me happy. I switched out my purse last night, so I'm just finishing. So anyways, we get on the flight. I was next to this nice younger girl. Golden's waving to her, playing. Golden finally falls asleep in the seat next to me on my lap. We get to Mexico. We're all good. And get our stuff. I'm so happy. My suitcases are there. So happy. I've got to leave for work in like 5 minutes. So I'm working on a Sunday because I was gone all week. We get there, and meanwhile, I had already set up airport transfer to the hotel, but that was for our earlier flight. So now we don't have that. I need a car seat because I have a baby. So my dad's trying to speak to the guy. Tori's boyfriend kind of speaks Spanish. So he's like talking to the people, explaining that we need a seat. We're waiting. I'm so hungry and exhausted. I'm running on like an hour and a half plus whichever little bits of sleep I've gotten on the plane. But I haven't eaten since my chilaquiles at 10 a.m. I hadn't had coffee. I didn't order any beverages like on the plane because I didn't want to have to pee. Where am I gonna put my kid? So I was just like dead. I was dead. And finally get in the car. We get to the beautiful resort. I'm like, yes. We get up to our room. The bellboy brings us our stuff. It's 1 in the morning. My daughter's wide awake running around. It's cool. Like, we're on vacation. Let's order room service. I'm so hungry. I call, finally figure out how to order room service. And the girl's like, oh, because it's past 12 p.m., it's a $20 fee. I don't even care. Send me a pizza. Send me some milk for Golden. She's like, it'll be there within an hour. Oh my God, I'm just so hungry. I have Golden snacks. I have like fruit snacks and fruit leather and peanut butter pretzels. I think I busted open some pretzels. My poor baby. We're like getting set up. I'm waiting for my bags. I start unpacking. I'm like, it's gonna be an hour. So I pull open my whole suitcase right in front of the door by the closet to put stuff away. I had to get in the car and drive to work and let my freaking camera charge. It was just, I kept charging it like 10%. Let me finish this story and we can be done. Thanks for hanging with me through all this. I ordered that room service. We're waiting. I change into like, cause I'm thinking they're gonna drop it at the door. I change into these like silky pajamas. I'm so excited to get out of my plain clothes. Golden's running around. The suitcase is pulled out in front of the door cause it's like 15 minutes later. They said it's gonna take an hour. I hear a knock on the door and I like just open it a little bit cause I have no bra on. I'm on this short little silky things. Oh my gosh. He has a whole cart he's trying to wheel in. So I forgot they did that. Hang on one second. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to leave the door open for him without letting it shut in his face. Pull my suitcase out of the way without letting my boobs hang out because I don't have a bra on. Like I said, G's running everywhere. I'm just like, if this day could just end, can I please just have this day end? And I have my husband here. Like, I'm so just ready to eat this pizza and climb into bed. I'm trying to set up the Hatch, her sound maker, because the Wi-Fi isn't working, by the way, while I was waiting for the guy too. So anyway, he wheels in the pizza and I just look at it and I'm like, that's not gonna taste good. Like, you know, how do you mess up pizza? But you can look at it and just know. I also realized I only have a $100 bill. I haven't made change to tip him. I feel so bad. So he leaves. I pour milk. It's like a different kind of milk. Obviously, it's like Mexican brand milk in the little bottle for G. I hand it to her. She throws it on the ground. I'm like, okay, apparently like this must taste different. What are we gonna do the next week? She ended up drinking it. It was fine. I end up eating one piece of the pizza. It's not good. I think I gave Golden some of her snacks. Thank goodness they had a crib in there because when we ordered a crib, Brittany did, the travel agent, she said, it's not guaranteed. Like, I can put in the request. They can't tell me till you get there. What? Where am I gonna put my baby? Like, that was weird, right? So I was just grateful I walked in and saw a really nice crib in there. So that was cool. So we got to bed. I ended up just using my phone for sound. We did not wake up until 11 a.m. the next morning, which was 9 a.m. back home. So we slept really well. Golden stayed asleep, let me get some rest. By the way, no one one's near me in the hotel. Dad's across the whole thing at like adult side. We're at the family side. My sisters are on a different level. Thank goodness there was an adjoining room next to me, and my sister Emily, who was flying in the next day, asked for 3505, like it will connect to mine, and she ended up getting it. So that was great the next day. But I'm thinking, am I gonna be near no one in this hotel? So anyways, it ended up going well. The rest of the time, it was just such a shit show that first day. And I just thought the whole time it was happening, I have to make a TikTok or a story time or something about this, because this is just unbelievable. Goyden, everyone calling her Goyden too, because all the people want to talk to the baby. Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Goyden. I love my daughter's name, and the fact that it's being butchered so bad just kills me. So that's my little story time. I hope you liked it. I will see you soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.